In this video, we're going to create a video presentation using images, basically a slideshow, and we're going to do that using the VSCD Video Creator. This is the Pro Edition, but you also get the free edition, and the same feature is available in the free edition. So let's go and have a look and see how easy it is to create a slideshow. We click on the Create Slideshow button. We're then asked to put in a project name. Let's call it Art 1. Here you can set various items pertaining to copyright, author, publisher, description, the date, and in terms of the device, we can also set resolution, frame rate, the width and the height, and that relates to the sound and the channels. So that's pretty standard information. Once we have that in place, we will hit finish, and that will then bring up the interface to add the images and to implement various transition effects. We'll click on the button, drag and drop media files here or add files. If we click on that block, it opens up the window asking us for the information that we'd like to add. So here I have my folder with Baobab drawings, with numerous drawings. Select all the drawings at the same time, click on open, and the images are imported. I could also have dragged and dropped onto that folder. Now that I have the images, let's have a look at some of the transitions available. Inside each of these descriptors, you will see different types of transitions. To see what they look like, simply click on the image and it will be displayed on the screen. In my case, I'm going to look for the fade, and we're just going to go with a simple fade out. Now to add the transitions, you can go from each transition element and add it. I could, for example, add it individually, but I'd rather add them all at once. I then come over to select all. So I've selected all. If I hover over the transition, it says empty effect. To add an effect to that transition, let's go back to the first one. Let's go to fade. Let's go to fade out. As you can see, it still has an empty effect. So let's now select add effect. Now you'll see that that effect has been added to each one of these fade out effects. If we're happy with that, we can then say apply settings, and immediately it brings up the images converted to a sprite. When we select play, it now plays the slideshow with the transition in the fade between images. So with that in place, the next thing we'd like to do is to add some music to our presentation. Let's move along to the icon over here, which is for sound. We'll select that, we'll choose our sound file, and we'll insert that sound file into our presentation. As you can see over here, it's added it to the end of the slideshow. Very easy, drag down and to the left, and now our sound is at the beginning of the clip. It extends too far beyond. What we'll do is we will select the end of that clip and move it across, and now it ends in the same place. But if we were to play the clip, and we're not going to include the images for this just yet, you will see it ends and it's a little bit abrupt. So in order to change that, what we'll do is we'll move the marker to the left. We'll then right click on the sound file. We'll go to audio effects and we'll go to amplitude. And in amplitude, we can apply various fade in and fade out effects. So let's just select that timeline. Go to our audio effects, go to amplitude, go to fade out, say OK. You'll see now that it has included a little clip with the fade out. Now let's go back to our scene by clicking on scene 0, and you'll see that the full timeline is present. So what we were looking at there was just the fade out portion of this timeline, of this sound file. When we play that sound file now, it in fact fades out. So now that we know we have the sound coming into our presentation, and we know that it fades out nicely, and we can activate again, and we can see as we go along the timeline that the image will fade in and out. So we are ready now to produce our video. Let's move across to the production area. So what we will do is we will go to Export Project. In Export Project, we have several options. First of all, right at the top of our screen, you'll see PC, web, iPhone, iPad, Android, DVD, mobile, PSP, PS, Xbox. There are so many, it can be a little bit confusing about what to choose. So as a standard, what I like to choose is to go along to Android, and then to choose the 16:9 ratio, which is the ratio used for most television and laptop screens, which also then facilitates the HD 1920 by 1080 size. So if we look down here, we'll see that at the moment, the input file is at high definition 1920 by 1080, but the output file is less. So we'd like the output to be the same as the input. We'll go to our selection and we'll look for the 1920 by 1080 high output quality file. And that's it over there. And now you'll see that our output file is the same as our input file, save for the fact that we have a few more frames, but that's fine. It'll just make for smoother transition. Now we can also select where we're going to save that. So we can click on change name over here. And we can go to slideshows, and this will be the Baobab slideshow, and we'll call that 1. We'll hit save, and now we're ready to export. We'll go back to our export project menu and now select export project. A preview is currently showing of the presentation as it gets output. You'll see it doesn't take very long to output a slideshow into a video. It will of course take a little bit longer if you have a lot more photos. Once completed, conversion was completed, and we can hit OK. So let's go along and have a look at that slideshow. So here we have our slideshow. Music comes in, fades in and out. And that pretty much wraps up that demonstration. So thank you for watching.